Hi, this is Jayanti, Assistant Professor working at Kalanakarunanithi Institute of Technology, Coimbatore. Today we are going to learn about web technology. Web technology is nothing but it is the most essential today because internet has become the number one source of information and many of the traditional software applications have become web applications. Web applications have become more powerful and can fully replace desktop applications in most of these situations. As we know that the definition of web technology is it refers to various tools and techniques that are utilized in the process of communication between different types of devices over the internet. What are all the web essentials? Web essentials, the first and foremost thing is the internet. As we all know, internet is the global system of interconnected computer networks which uses internet protocol to communicate between networks and the devices. Okay, as we come across the word networks, we always come across the letter called client-server communication. So what is meant by client? A client is nothing but a customer or a person who uses the services. Usually here a client does not share any of its resources but it requests content or service from a server. Client therefore initiate communication sessions with the servers which always await for the incoming request. Example email, internet, printing, World Wide Web, etc. See the diagram which have been described here. There are three types of client here mentioned. One is the laptop, the other one is client, that means mobile, the next third one is desktop. These are all the three types of clients available which can be communicated with the server through the internet. So all these clients are connected to the server through the internet. So what is meant by protocol? We know that protocol is needed for communication between the client and the server. Okay, what is meant by protocol? Protocol is nothing but it is a set of rules that have been determined already for transmission of data between different devices in the same network. It allows connected devices to communicate with each other regardless of any differences in their internal process structure, etc. There are types of protocols available. One is TCP/IP, that is Transmission Control Protocol. IP means Internet Protocol. Second one is UDP/IP. UDP means User Datagram Protocol. Third one is HTTP, that is Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Fourth and the final one is FTP, File Transfer Protocol. So first we will learn about the Internet Protocol. So what is the most special function of IP is it transfer data from source device to destination device. Okay, what it will send as we know that it will send data in a form of a packet which contains the header information and the data. Header information have source address, destination address. Here address means that is IP address, that means Internet Protocol address, and length of the data. Then the second part is data. Data contains the information which needed to be transferred from the sender to the receiver. If the destination is on another LAN is nothing but local area network. The packet is sent to a gateway that connects to more than one network. So consider the scenario which have been explained here. See, there are three types of networks available. One is network 1, network 2, the other one is network 3. So now we want to send a data which is present in the source, that is network 1, to the destination which is present at the network 3. So from the source which is in network 1 will pass to the network 2 through the gateway, and It reach the network 3 through the gateway and it will reach the destination which is present in the network 3. So this is how a data is transferred if a source and a destination present at the different networks. That means gateway plays an important role here. So what is meant by gateway? So a gateway is nothing but it is also a network node that forms a passage between two networks operating with different transmission protocols. The second thing of protocol is TCP, that is Transmission Control Protocol. So, what are all the limitations of to overcome the limitations of IP only TCP have been arrived. So, what is the limitations of IP? So, in the IP, there is no guarantee of packet delivery. So, it means that if the packet can be dropped anywhere in the network. So communication here from the source to destination is only one way. So it is only half duplex. Half duplex means one way the communication will be enabled. So, to overcome all the limitations of IP, we have there is another protocol called TCP. So, TCP adds concept of a connection on top of IP. It provides guarantee that packets will be delivered, and also it provides two-way communication, that is full duplex, from the source to the destination and from the destination to the source. Both way a communication will be provider. So see the diagram. So here your first handshaking will be done. Handshaking is nothing but establishing a connection between the two devices. So here we say the device 1 as source and the device 2 as destination. So in order to transfer a data between the source and their destination, first a connection should be established. So in order to establish a connection, handshaking will be done. That means first a source will need to connect to the destination. In order to connect to the destination, first the source will need to know that whether a destination is ready to accept the data. For that purpose, the source will ask, "Can I talk to you?" So if the destination is free, the destination will reply to the source request that okay, can I talk to you? So then source also will reply as okay. Then your handshaking has been done. Then we will send source will send a packet to the destination. So it will send here is a packet, and the destination will acknowledge to that the destination has to have got the packet which have been sent by the source. Then if a packet is not delivered properly, we can resend the packet. So this is how a TCP connection will be established and the data will be transferred between the source and the destination through the TCP. Okay, then comes the third protocol called user datagram protocol. So this is a transport layer protocol. It is also a part of an internet protocol. Okay, normally we use it to refer this as UDP/IP. So unlike TCP, it is an unreliable and connectionless protocol. So here we does not need to establish a connection before transferring the data. Okay, see here, this diagram will explain the difference between the UDP and the TCP. The first diagram falls for UDP and the second diagram falls for TCP. So see the UDP here, a receiver will send a request to the server and the response will be sent back. And here see that without any time gap, there are three responses have been sent to the receiver because the sender doesn't know that whether the receiver have been received the request or not. So in order to avoid any circumstances, the sender is sending the responses. And see the TCP, it is very clear that it is only one way. I mean, even though there are two-way communication, after acknowledgement only the next communication takes place. See there. So first the synchronization request have been sent, then acknowledgement have been sent to the sender as well as sender is sending the acknowledgement to the receiver. Now the fourth protocol is the HTTP, that is Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Okay, before proceeding that, we need to know about www. We all welfare to know about the World Wide Web. So it is nothing about it provides the communication between the web client and the server. So clients often uses the browsers, which is can be of any type of a program or a device. Servers are most often computers in the cloud. See here, web client will always connect to the web server through the client cloud. So next comes the HTTP request and response. Okay, wherever in the network there will always a two acronym will be there. That is request and the response. A client always sends an HTTP request to the web. The web server receives the request. The server runs an application to process the request. The server returns an HTTP response as an output to the browser. The client receives the response. So here it have been explained diagrammatically. So see, in the first there are two browsers which is requesting for the server. So through the internet, the browser connect to the server, and the server will process the HTTP requests which have been received from the browser, and it will respond back to the browser through the internet. So that process have been explained in this diagram. Last one is FTP. FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol. It provides the sharing of files. It is used to encourage the use of remote computers. It transfers the data more reliably and efficiently. See here it is a mechanism of FTP. So there is a client and there is a server. Client is nothing but the user. Uh, Through the user interface, the client will request some data to the server. The request message is sent to the server through the TCP IP, and the data will be processed in the server side, and the response will be sent back to the client with the help of TCP IP. Okay, this is what the mechanism of FTP is done. Okay, the same thing have been explained in the points. So transferring files from one system to another is very simple and straightforward, but sometimes it can cause problems. For example, if the two systems which need to be connected have different file conventions, that means two systems may have different ways to represent text and data. That means they may also have different directory structures. FTP will overcome these problems by establishing two connections between the host. One connection is used for data transfer, the another connection is used for the control connection. So we know how a data has been transferred, but what is meant by control connection? The control connection uses the simple rules for communications. Through control connection, we can transfer a line of command or line of response at a time. The control connection is made between the control process. That means the control connection remains connected during the entire interactive FTP session. Okay, what's meant by data connection? A data connection uses complex rules as data types may vary. It is made, that is, the data connection is made between different data transfer process. The data connection opens when a command comes for transferring the files and closes when the file is transferred. This is what data connection and a protocol is we learned. Okay, thank you. In next we will come across the next slide.